So I'm back with part 6. This part is supposed to be like a bonus ish, but really still talking about kingdom marriages. Um, but there's some things I want to highlight. In my previous video, part 5, I mentioned about what happened with Yehuda's two sons, which were and Onan, and how they spilled their seed. And you can find more information about that in the testament of Yehuda, Judah's testament upon that he gave before he passed away. He gathered his sons. Pretty much he only had one son by that time, and so he gathered them, all his offspring, his children, grandchildren, to pretty much tell of what happened, how things came to be. So I'm going to show you exactly where that's at. Okay. So I'm going to start the beginning of chapter 10 of the Testament of Judah. And it reads, "After these things, my son took to wife Tamar from Aram Naharim, a daughter of Aram. Now was wicked, and he was in need concerning Tamar, because she was not of the land of Canaan. And on the third night, an angel of Yahweh smote him, and he had not known her according to the evil craftiness of his mother, for he did not wish to have children by her." Okay? So essentially, he didn't want to have children. So what did they do? They didn't have, probably at that time, they didn't probably have condoms. So he was like, I'm just going to spill my seed. So then that way, she won't get pregnant. Or in that way, the marriage is not going to be consummated, whatever that might be. But I'm going to continue reading so you can see why he did this. "In the days of the wedding feast, I gave Onan to her in marriage. And he also in wickedness knew her not, though he spent with her a year." So he spent a whole entire year with her and did not consummate the marriage, just refused, right? A whole year. So Judah keeps talking. "And when I threatened him, he went in unto her, but he spilled the seed on the ground according to the command of his mother, and he also died through wickedness. And I wished to give Shelah also to her, but his mother did not permit it, for she wrought evil against Tamar, because she was not of the daughters of Canaan, as she also herself was." Okay, and he goes on to say how he knew that his wife was wicked. His wife was of the land of Canaan. I'll read that part. This is a very short part, chapter 11 of this part. "And I knew that the family of the Canaanites, the Canaanim, was wicked, but the impulse of youth blinded my mind. And when I saw her pouring out wine, owing to the intoxication of wine, was I deceived, and took her, although my father had not counseled it. And while I was away, she went and took for Shelah a wife from Canaan. And when I knew what she had done, I cursed her in the anguish of my soul. And she also died through her wickedness together with her sons." Okay, so he pretty much said he made an error of marrying her. Now you see, even though he knew he made an error, you don't see him trying to really divorce her. Um, but I mean, like what happened, she eventually did pass away. But as you can see, and Ornan were encouraged by their mother to not essentially not make children by her, because she wasn't of the land of Canaan. Okay. which obviously was wicked. So anyway, as you can see there, some more information about why spilling the seed is not holy, kadosh, is wickedness in Yah's eyes. Now, I want to go to some foundational things. And this is really exciting. I'm trying to make sure I actually have it here. Okay. I wrote down Isaiah 50, verse 1. Hold on one moment. Okay. When I talked about in the last video how Yehovah gave Israel a bill of divorce. You can find more evidence of that in Isaiah chapter 50, verse 1, where it says, thus says Yehovah, where is the bill of your mother's divorcement, whom I have put away? Or which of my creditors is it to whom I have sold you? Behold, for your iniquities you have sold yourselves, and for your transgressions is your mother put away. Wherefore, when I came, was there no man? Okay. So he's just pretty much saying, like, essentially it was because of the transgressions of Israel that Israel was put away. But the thing is this, Israel wasn't put away forever. Okay. That's why the new covenant came into play, to reestablish the bridal covenant, okay, with Israel, with the lost sheep of Israel, to reestablish the bridal covenant with a pure bride, a holy one, not the harlot that she was, but that the virgin, pure bride that she is called to be. Okay. So, unlike man's ways, when Yah did a divorce to Israel, it was not to put her away forever. That's a Western mindset. His intent was to see, for her to see how her lovers are, her strangers that she went after, how they're cruel and treacherous. These lovers that she went after really are. He's like, I'm just going to leave you alone with all your idols, with all your, you want to do it your way or the highway. You go ahead. You will feel the consequences of your transgressions. And when you're ready to stop it, you will come back to me. Okay? And and that's what he does. That's what Yehoshua does. He does that wooing. Come back to me. Come to me, my bride. Come back to me. Okay, come back to me in purity. Come back to me in holiness. Okay, that's what the ushering call that we have today. And this models the kingdom marriage, that enduring love that says, you know what? I want you back, but I need you back in a pure, righteous state. So I want to show you how the first kingdom marriage was destroyed. Of course, we're referring to Adam and Hawa, Adam and Eve. And I'm going to read from the book of Adam and Eve that tells that where Hawa tells her story, where Eve tells her story of what happened. Okay? So I'm going to turn to that. And but let me lay a foundation first with from the Gospel of James, chapter 13. Now, obviously, if you only be able to actually access this if you have his word scriptures. Okay? So I'm going to turn to the Gospel of James first, because it'll be very interesting to what you hear, and then you'll see it actually in the book of Adam and Eve. Okay, so obviously this is a bonus video for those who want to go deeper into the matter. This video might not be for everybody, but for those who it's for, enjoy. Okay, the Gospel of James. This is written by Joseph son, Joseph and Mary's son. He wrote this account because this is what he witnessed, or not witnessed, but this is the account that was shared with him. So this is chapter 12 of the Gospel of James. Talks about Miriam going to visit her cousin Elizabeth, okay, Elisheba. And after she tended to Elisheba for 3 months, you can find that confirmed in the Gospels of Luke. She comes back to her home afterwards. All right. You know what? Let me go ahead and start with chapter 12, okay? And she made the purple and scarlet and brought them unto the priest. And the priest blessed her and said, Miriam, Jehovah Elohim has magnified your name, and you shall be blessed among all generations of the earth. And Miriam rejoiced and went away unto Elisheba, that's Elizabeth, her kinswoman, and she knocked at the door. And Elizabeth, Elisheba, when she heard it, cast down the scarlet wool and ran to the door and opened it. And when she saw Miriam, she blessed her and said, Whence is this to me that the mother of my Adonai should come unto me? For behold, that which is in me leaped and blessed you. And Miriam forgot the mysteries which Gabriel, the great prince, had told her. And she looked up to heaven and said, Who am I, Adonai, that all the generations of the earth do bless me? And she abode 3 months with Elisheba, and day by day her womb grew. And Miriam was afraid and departed unto her house and hid herself from the children of Israel. Now she was 16 years old when these mysteries came to pass. Now we're in chapter 13. Now it was the 6th month with her, and behold, Joseph came from his building, and he entered into the house and found her great with child. And he smote his face, and he cast himself down upon the ground on sackcloth, and wept bitterly, saying, With what countenance shall I look upon Jehovah my Elohim? And what prayer shall I make concerning this maiden? For I received her out of the temple of Jehovah my Elohim, a virgin, and have not kept her safe. Who is he that has ensnared me? Who has done this evil in my house and has defiled the virgin? Is not the story of Adam repeated in me? For as at the hour of his giving thanks, the serpent came and found Eve alone and deceived, defiled her. So has it befallen me also. And Joseph arose from off the sackcloth and called Miriam and said unto her, O you that was cared for by Elohim, why have you done this? And you have forgotten Jehovah your Elohim. Why has you humbled your soul? You that was nourished up in the Holy of Holies and did receive food at the hand of an angel. But she wept bitterly and saying, I am pure. I know not a man. And Joseph said unto her, Whence then is that which is in your womb? And she said, As Jehovah my Elohim lives, I know not whence it is come unto me. Okay, she didn't know. She's like, I don't know when. It just, you know. Okay, so he's right there. He's saying, he's saying, is the story of Adam not repeated in me? I come in my house and some other man knew you. And she's like, no, it didn't happen. I'm pure. I know not a man. So why would Joseph in this passage ask Miriam when he found her, literally pregnant with child, is not the story of Adam repeated in me? Okay, like who has come and defiled the virgin? And that's what the scriptures actually says in the Hebrew, that Hawa was defiled. Okay, we're going to see that. Let's go to the book of, oh, you know what? I wanted to show one other thing. Yes, before we go to the book of Adam and Eve. I'm going to go to chapter 14, 15, and 16 of the Gospel of James just to show that there is proof that she was telling the truth. Okay? So, and we, of course, we know that, but this is how they were able to verify, according to the Torah, that she was telling the truth. Okay? I'm going to skip chapter 14 because that's when Joseph has the dream that, you know, from has a dream that says that, you know, she's innocent, stay with her. Okay, in so many words. You can find that in the traditional gospels, obviously. Okay, so I'm going to go to chapter 15. Now, Kananiah, the scribe, came unto him, talking about Joseph, and said to him, Wherefore did you not appear in our assembly? And Joseph said unto him, I was weary with the journey, and I rested the first day. And Hananiah turned him about and saw Miriam great with child. And he went hastily to the priest and said unto him, Joseph, to whom you bear witness that he is righteous, has sinned grievously. And the priest said, Wherein? And he said, The virgin whom he received out of the temple of Jehovah, he has defiled her and married her by stealth, and has not declared it to the children of Israel. And the priest answered and said, Has Joseph done this? And Hananiah the scribe said, Send officers, and you shall find the virgin great with child. And the officers went and found as he said, and they brought her together with Joseph into the place of judgment. And the priest said, Miriam, wherefore have you done this? And wherefore have you humbled your soul and forgotten Jehovah your Elohim? You that was nurtured in the Holy of Holies, and did receive food at the hand of an angel, and did hear the hymns, and did dance before Jehovah, wherefore have you done this? But she wept bitterly, saying, As Jehovah my Elohim lives, I am pure before him, and I know not a man. And the priest said unto Joseph, Wherefore have you done this? And Joseph said, As Jehovah my Elohim lives, I am pure as concerning her. And the priest said, Bear no false witness, but speak the truth. You have married her by stealth, and have not declared it unto the children of Israel, and has not bowed your head under the mighty hand that your seed should be blessed. And Joseph held his shalom. He held his peace. And the priest said, verse chapter 16, and the priest said, Restore the virgin whom you did receive out of the temple of Jehovah. And Joseph was full of weeping. And the priest said, I will give you to drink of the water of the conviction of Jehovah, and it will make manifest your sins before your eyes. And the priest took thereof and made Joseph drink, and sent him into the hill country, and he returned whole. And he made Miriam also drink, and sent her into the hill country, and she returned whole. And all the people marveled, because sin appeared not in them. And the priest said, If Jehovah Elohim has not made your sin manifest, neither do I condemn you. And he let them go. And Joseph took Miriam and departed into his house, rejoicing and glorifying the Elohim of Israel. Okay? So you can find the water of conviction in the Torah. So if a woman had defiled herself, they would give her this water of conviction. And if it was true that she had defiled herself, her body would swell. Okay, she would actually have a sickness enter in. Her body would swell, but nothing happened to them. So they knew that they were without sin. So there's nothing the priest could do. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Let's go to the book of Adam and Eve. All right. This is just, like I said, this video is like a nice bonus for those who want a little bit of extra meat. Okay? A little bit something, something. Okay, I'm going to start at chapter 15 of the book of Adam and Eve. As you can see, these are really short chapters. I'll show you. Okay. They're not long at all. All right. So we're gonna start here. And a lot of this you can actually find in a video. Um, Jediah Malek, he did a video on this, and it's really long, so that's why this is probably a good summary for those who might not want to listen to like 2 to 3 hours about did Hawa have uh, sex with the devil? Okay, I think that's the title of it, and he goes into the Hebrew. Very fruitful study for those who have the attention span to listen, but at least here I can give you a condensed summary so you don't sit there for 3 hours, just in case if you don't want to sit there for 3 hours like I did at that time. But it was Shabbat, so it was all good. Anyway, chapter 15. And Kawa said unto them, hear all my children and children's children, and I will relate to you how the enemy deceived us. When we were guarding the garden, each one the portion that was given to him from Elohim, I guarded my lot, which was wonderful to me, the west and the south. And Satan went to Adam's lot, where the male beasts were, for Elohim divided the beasts to us. All the male beasts he gave to your father, and all the females he gave unto me. And Satan spake to the serpent, saying, rise up, come to me, and I will tell you a word whereby you may have profit. And he arose and came to him. And Satan said to him, I have seen that you are more subtle than all the beasts, and I have come to counsel you. Why do you eat of Adam's meat and not of the fruit of the garden? Okay, so here is always, oh, you don't have enough. You're not being given enough. Yah is giving you lack and slack, and he's not giving you what you deserve. That type of talk. Okay, anyway, why do you eat of Adam's meat and not of the fruit of the garden? And now rise up, and we will make him to be cast out of the garden, and remove his wife, as we were cast out through him. Okay? So he's like, look, I got a plan. I'm going to overthrow Adam and Hawa. And the serpent said unto him, I fear lest the anger of Elohim be wroth with me. And Satan said unto him, fear not, only be my vessel. Okay? So the serpent's supposed to be the vessel through which he's operating. And I will speak through your mouth words to deceive him. And suddenly the serpent took hold of a wall in the garden. And when the angels ascended to worship Elohim, it came to pass that Satan appeared in the form of an angel and praised Jehovah like one of the angels. Listen to that right there. That's deep. And suddenly the serpent took hold of a wall in the garden. And when the angels ascended to worship Elohim, it came to pass that Satan appeared in the form of an angel to praise Jehovah like one of the angels. Verse 2 of chapter 17. And I looked forth from the wall and saw him like the form of an angel. And he said unto me, art you Hawa? And I said, I am. And he said unto me, what are you doing in the garden? And I said unto him, Elohim has set us to guard it and to eat of its fruit. And Satan answered me through the mouth of the serpent, you have done well, but you do not eat of every tree in the garden. And I said unto him, from every tree of the garden we shall eat. Only from the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim said not to eat of it. For in the day you eat of it, you shall surely die. And the serpent said unto me, as Elohim lives, I am distressed on your account. It's like, oh, he won't let you eat that piece of fruit. Oh, he's depriving you. Oh, he won't let you eat just that one fruit from that one tree. Oh, that's just so harsh, right? Essentially, that's what, being distressed, acting, cutting up a fool. Okay? All right, the serpent said unto me, as Elohim lives, I am distressed on your account. For you to be like unto beasts. I desire you not to be brutish and without knowledge, but arise now and come hither, hearken to me, and eat, and you shall know and esteem the tree. Okay? So he's telling him, come, I'm going to give you the food. Listen to what he's saying. He's pretty much saying, I'm going to take that fruit and I'm going to feed you, woman. Mm. Now, who's supposed to be providing food for his wife? The husband, not a stranger. Okay? The serpent is acting as a stranger, saying, you know what? You know, you got a covenant with Jehovah and with your husband, but he ain't giving you all that you need or all that you want. Look, I can give it to you. That's essentially what's happening here. Okay, let's keep reading. All right. Oh, he wants you to be like an animal. He just wants to treat you like a beast. You know, he made you serve him. Mm-hmm. And then he tells you to tend this garden. And then he said you can eat everything, but you can't have that. Girl, he's depriving you. I can give you what you want. That's what he essentially is saying, okay? Ain't nobody supposed to be feeding your wife, right? Except for the husband, right? Under covenant with Jehovah. All right, let's keep going. And I said unto him, I fear lest Elohim be wroth with me, as he told us. And he said to me, fear not, for as soon as you eat of it, your eyes shall be open, and you shall be as Elohim, knowing good and evil. And for Elohim knows that you shall be like him. So he envied you. Oh, wow. He's saying that, he's saying to her that Yehovah, her creator, envies her. How can the creator envy his creation? Like, oh, my creation is better than me. Okay, how can that be? All right. All right. Let's keep going. For Elohim knows that you shall be like him. So he envied you and said, you shall not eat of it. Have you not faced the tree and seen its great glory and covering upon it? And it came to pass when I feared to take the fruit, he said to me, come hither, go with me, and I will give it to you. Ooh! He told her, I'm going to give you the fruit. Just come here. The stranger, the pretender, the deceiver, the seducer. He said, oh, he's depriving you, woman. Shoot. That covenant, Jehovah's depriving you and your husband. Come here, let me go give you this fruit. I'm going to let you eat it. He said he's going to give her the fruit. And I opened unto him, chapter 19, and I opened unto him. What is she opening? What? A gate? I opened unto him, and he went before me. I mean, remember in the Hebrew translation, it could mean went before or went into. Remember from that reading I did? You listened to some other parts I read. Was he went before who? What was she? Where he go? What did she open? And what did he went before? And he went before me. And when he walked a little, and he turned unto me and said, I repent. I will not give you to eat until you swear to me to give also to your husband. And I said, I know not what oath I shall swear to you. Howbeit this I know, I said, by the throne of Jehovah and by the cherubim and by the tree of life, I will give also to my husband to eat. And when he caused me to vow, ooh, she's making a vow to him? What vow? What type of vow? Was that a marriage vow? What type of vow was that she just did? What did she open up to? And what did he went before you? Did he went into you? What did he open up? Your gown? Okay. And when he caused me to vow, he approached and went up upon it. Okay, the tree, obviously. He took up the fruit that he gave me to eat. He took the fruit, right? Kawa didn't take the fruit. He took the fruit and said, here, woman, now you eat it, right? And poisoned it with lust. For lust is the beginning of every sin, okay? And He perverted the branch, and I desired it. And I took of the fruit, and I ate it. It was terrible, and my eyes were open, and I knew that I was naked from the righteousness that clothed me. And I wept, and I said unto him, what is this you have done unto me? For you have pulled off from upon me my glory which clothed me. And I wept also concerning the oath which I had sworn. But he descended from the tree and was no more, vanished. And I sought in my part to cover up my nakedness, and I found none. For when I had eaten the leaves fell down from all the trees in my part, except the fig tree. And I took leaves from it, and I made for me a girdle, and it was from the tree of which I ate of its fruit. Okay. The leaves fell down. All the leaves fell down. So when we have autumn, one thing that Abba gave me the insight is that when we see the trees falling, every fall is to remind us of the fall. When you have fall and all the leaves of the trees go to the ground, is to remind us what Hawa did. It's to remind us that we fell. Now, got 2 more chapters, and I should be done with this part. And I cried in a loud voice and I said, Adam, Adam, where are you? Rise up, come to me, and I will make known to you a great secret. Okay, so here she is starting to lie. Okay, she changed. She changed. Something entered into her. Okay, remember she opened unto him, and he went before her. That was chapter 19. Something entered into her, and lust entered into her, and lying entered into her. All manners of evil entered into her. So here's righteous Adam. He hasn't taken the fruit yet, but he's going to join himself to that. Instead of putting her away, he's going to join himself to that. Now watch what happened. Okay, and when your father came, I spake to him words of wickedness, which have brought us down from our great glory. For when he came, I opened my mouth, and Satan spoke. She, who she became one with, because now Satan was speaking through Hawa. And she said, I brought him a portion of the fruit, and said, come hither, Adoni Adam. So she's saying, my Lord Adam, hearken unto me, and eat of the fruit of the tree which Elohim said to us not to eat from it, and you shall be as Elohim. And your father answered and said, I fear lest afterwards the wrath of Jehovah be in me. And I said unto him, fear not, from the day you eat from it, you shall know good and evil. And thus speedily I persuaded him. So she was trying to rush to get him to not think. It's like, hurry, 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 do it. So he's not thinking. He's like, no, and he ate. And behold, his eyes were open, and he also knew of his nakedness. And he said unto me, oh, wicked woman, what have I done to you that you have deprived me of the glory of Elohim? And on that day, we heard the great prince Michael, blowing with his trumpet and calling to the angels, saying, thus says Jehovah, come with me to the garden and hear the judgment with which I shall judge Adam. And when Elohim appeared in splendor upon the chariot of cherubim in the garden, and angels proceeding before him and singing, okay, its flowers in every tree of the garden, also your father's lot and mine. And the throne of Elohim stood fixed where the tree of life was. Okay? And this is when she says, the serpent deceived me. Okay? So, chapter 23, I'll read that too. And Elohim called unto Adam, saying, Adam, where are you? Can the house be hidden from the presence of its builder? And your father answered and said, we cannot hide from you, Yehovah. But I am concealed from your face, because I was afraid, because I am naked. I stayed in awe before your might, O Yehovah. And Elohim said to him, who told you that you are naked? have you forsaken my commandment, which I commanded you to keep? And Adam remembered the word which I spake unto him, saying, You shall not be endangered by the hand of Jehovah. And he turned unto me and said, What is this you have done? And I said, The serpent deceived me. Okay. And this is when all the curses start to come unfold. All right. So you can see there that when that happened to Chava, she was alone. She was by herself. And only the females were only supposed to be in that section of the garden. So this serpent, who's a male serpent, okay, went into her section. You know, and obviously the rest is history. But you can see how that type of adultery destroyed the first kingdom marriage. And it corrupted the seed. It caused the seed to not be blessed. Okay, it created death throughout Adam's lineage, even up to this day, right? Because people die, right? Loved ones die. If it wasn't so, that would not have happened. So I think that is most of what I have. I know it was a lot. If you have any questions, obviously just post a comment, a question there. Here's another little nugget while I'm flipping through these notes. I thought it was pretty interesting. Oh yes, I wrote this December 25th, and I wrote last night during the early morning hours. This must have been December 24th that I got this revelation. Here's somebody coming. Okay, maybe not. I'll read this note. I think it's a pretty fruitful thing because I wasn't thinking about this. Like I said, Abba had been ministering to me about the kingdom marriage for most of December. And this is one of the things that you could say was downloaded into me. Sometimes I feel like Neo, you know, no, I know Kung Fu, right? I don't know Kung Fu, but, you know, that's what he said in the movie. And yeah, back in the day, I still remember that part. He goes, it goes, now no Kung Fu. Okay. So I wrote last night during the early morning hours, I received this revelation that my mother's house, Song of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 4, and Song of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 2, is my mother's house, is referring to Eve's, Hawa's section of the Garden of Eden. For Hawa is the mother of all of Adam's seed, including Israel. So I wrote down the passage. Song of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 4 reads, It was but a little that I passed from them, but I found him whom my soul loves, and I held him and wouldn't let him go until I had brought him into my mother's house and to the chamber of her that conceived me. Song of Solomon 8, chapter 8, verse 2. I would lead you and bring you into my mother's house, who would instruct me. I would cause you to drink of spiced wine of the juice of my pomegranate. Okay, and I did a little Hebrew study on some of the words there. Chamber, where it mentions chamber, in Song Solomon chapter 3, verse 4, it means Strong's 23:15, meaning apartment, bed, inner chamber, to enclose as a room. Okay, it's almost like a bridal chamber. And then if you look at, Luke chapter 5, verse 32, where it talks about the bride chamber, is Strong's 26:46. That's from the Hebrew. So I'm looking at the Hebrew version because I have the Hebrew Gospels. Do I have it here with me? Oh, it must be down. And yeah, it's not here. which means a canopy, a closet, a chamber to cover. Okay, that will be chuppah. The other one is cheder. Cheder. Okay. Cheder means the chief door consecrates or sets apart. The chief door sets apart. The chamber is a set apart place. It's a secret place, and that's why the marriage chamber is a secret place where special things happen that others don't see. Just like in the Holy of Holies, the presence of Yah, many things happen there, but most people don't see. Only for the one or ones it's appointed for sees that. Okay? So, anyway, and also just to emphasize one other thing. In order for you to have a kingdom marriage, you must be equally yoked in the faith. Preferably the husband, your husband or your husband to be, is spiritually more mature than you. Highly advise that as a caution. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14 through 16. Just to remind you, it says, Be you not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion has light with darkness? And what concord has Mashiach, Messiah, with Belial? Okay. And Belial is Satan. Okay, it's another name for Satan. Okay. So what fellowship, what concord has Messiah with Satan? Like, how can you mix those two, right? Or what part has he that believes with an infidel? Okay. And what agreement has the temple of Elohim with idols? For you are the temple of the living Elohim, as Elohim has said, and I will walk among you, and you will be, I will walk among you, and will be your Elohim, and you shall be my people. So, in order to have a kingdom marriage from the get-go, sisters, you have to be equally yoked, first and foremost. And as I said, my advice is that, of course, you seek the face of Yah, and you make sure that that man is more spiritually mature, because he's supposed to be teaching you Yah's word. So you want him to be more spiritually mature than you. You want him to be. If he's going to be leading the household, you want him to know you want him to know what his responsibility is, and you want to make sure that he is more than joyful to do it. Okay? Not doing it begrudgingly, not complaining. You know, he knows that there's a blessing in the marriage. You know there's a blessing in the marriage, but you know it's all together, collectively together for the glory of Yah. So I pray that this very lengthy study was highly fruitful, and with everything and anything, go to Yah in prayer, get confirmation, search the scriptures. I've given you a lot of scriptures, but go back and look at them and pray and seek his face. Okay? So with that, I'm going to say shalom, shalom. And I don't know what else he will have me teach in the future. But when he's ready, I will know, and I will tell you at that time. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't forget anything. I'm sure there's other stuff that you could probably find in the scripture regarding marriage, but these are some of the key points that Abba's really been teaching me about. And I think it's a good way to help all of us to assess where we're lacking in a kingdom marriage, what needs to be done. One other important thing I want to stress is to keep, because marriage is a sacred thing, a set apart thing, okay? A set apart foundational part of the kingdom, okay? What happens in the secret place stays in the secret place, okay? In terms of your marital life, your marital matters need to be kept secret, holy, apart from everyone else, apart from your family members. It ain't everybody's business to know what's going on, okay? unless you're like in, dire straits. There's an emergency. Yah forbid that you're being abused. But otherwise, work it out, husband and wife together before Yehovah. And this is how you're going to preserve and protect the sanctity, the goodness of your marriage, of your kingdom marriage. This is how you protect it. You must protect it from other people. Okay, remember what he said. What Yah has joined together, let no man put asunder. I don't care if that's your mama, your daddy, your sister, your cousin, your friend, your aunt, your uncle, whatever. Let no man put asunder. Okay? It is not their job to, gobble their mouth away and cause division in your marriage. Okay? Everybody else needs to stay out and stay shut. Okay? The only exception, like I said, is if there's a actual abuse situation and your life is at risk, then you probably need to tell somebody. But if it's a kingdom marriage, you shouldn't need to go there anyway, okay? Protect the sanctity of your marriage, keep it private, and keep it holy, and keep it undefiled, okay? And with that, I say shalom and shalom.